Live from the basement. Why
Clorox Toilet Wash is the all-in-one system loaded with a powerful cleaning solution.
you enjoyed that little bit of introduction, 5 minutes worth of introduction. But I'm just seeing if anybody comes into the world of Tim's TD Damits vlogging. Yes, sir. I know all the rules and regulations. I probably break them multiple times a day. Not that I'm proud of that, but it happens. But while I'm messing with the computer today, I'm going to upload, see if this will let me upload some of the video that I made on this iPhone. Just a reminder, I have my other channel. My TD Demos channel is more geared towards entertainment purposes. Not so much here. It's supposed to be everything. I've said before about like studying things. If you want to know something, you have to take the time to study it. That could be anything in your life, especially if you're like into God. You need to read the Bible to be able
Some of these are
to.
extremely common, like red and blue, and others
Oh
are
my
quite rare.
gosh.
Nothing ranks for tons of money just because of how hard they are to get.
That's a
Along
bummer.
is one of the rarest and coolest.
So yeah, it's like with everything. You have to put in some effort, put in some time to get to know. Just like tonight, I'm gonna look at this with you guys and gals or whoever is watching this, because I want to remove the engine, because I'm really eager to get that engine out, hopefully sooner than later. But I embarked on a little bit of a tour of life right now. So if that means anything to you, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But oh, it's right here. I wonder if it's going to let me download it. Let's see something here. iPhone. But where does it send it? See, I don't trust it. Because the photos on the Microsoft, yeah, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to drag and drop, old school way, into my folder. So while I'm doing some vlogging tonight, I'm going to drag and drop some files to my main hard drive that I use for making my movies. I think that the thing that excuse me, still getting over illness. It was a pretty bad illness. Joke's on me though. Which is just the nature of it. Get it. Take care of yourself. Because I'm a grown man now, so I should be taking good care of myself. But you know, it's one of those challenging experiences when I lack the guidance, sort of. That's why, like, it takes more effort to get motivated to do things these days, because like I kind of get into ruts. And they say the good thing about a rut, it has two open ends, so you can get out if you really put your mind to it. Get out of the rut. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to get into this in a minute. I'm going to do some of my my file transfers. So shows you how to rebuild the engine, but that's out of my league. And maybe it's possible to do, but I'm sure rebuilding an engine takes like hours and hours and hours to do it. It would be fun. I like to mess with stuff like that, but engine is very intricate. Especially, I think this year engine is like self-timing, so it's really important that it has has a lot of details to pay attention to. I could remove and replace things. I think anybody could really remove and replace pieces of an engine or a car, whatever. Because the idea is that when you remove it, you got to take it out and put the new one in exactly how you found the old one. And I'm really eager to remove this engine because I want to get the timing chain off of it, because the timing chain will make some really nice manly bracelets. Because yes, you got to be manly men these days. Manly men. So the files I'm working on this time around is I'm going to make a new folder in my Timo folder. I'm going to name this folder, my nephew says it's ASMR. 0424. And I'll take his word for it. He's the one that will consume more of the content from the YouTube machine. And oh, looks like it's letting me transfer it. Let's see if it crashes. I'm going to transfer all these, and probably on Tuesday night I will edit the videos. Edit the video with Adobe, and then live stream that on my other channel, because my other channel is the one that I use for my entertainment stuff, and this channel here I use for everything else. I do talk about theology on this channel, so if you are my subscriber or subscribe and you get surprises, yeah, that's part of my life too. So like, really with the book thing, like these, back in the day, back before the internet machine really accelerated things, the only way to learn about a car is either ask someone that knows in person, go to maybe a mechanic if they're nice enough, maybe they'll give you some details, but most of the time that's their craft and they want to get paid. Or other times you go to the junkyard, and I have plenty of videos of me at the junkyard. I can't go live from the junkyard. I don't think they would allow that. It'd be fun though. Maybe one of these days, if I ever got like all that figured out, that'd be pretty cool. But the main idea is that you got to go to the mechanic or maybe in the library. This book actually I got probably over 10 years ago when I was in Washington State. I was going through the thrift store, looking around at the thrift store. I don't know if it was Goodwill or Salvation Army, I don't remember. But you would have to go to get a book. And I found this book. It was for the Chrysler. At the time, the Chrysler Dodge that I want to fix up was running really good. And somewhere along the way, I'm not sure what happened. I'm probably going to open that up and find out that the timing chain is intact. And if the timing chain is intact, I'm going to really kick myself. But in 2019, during the time when it broke down, I wasn't able to really pay attention to the vehicles, because at the time I was married, and my wife, which is what happened, when you're married, you're supposed to prioritize your wife. And I thought I was doing a good job of it. Apparently not, because yeah, 5 years later, got a divorce. But anyway, that's digression. Digression from the topic at hand. So this got beat to crap. I'm not sure how it got so wet or so waterlogged. This was in really good condition. Somewhere along the way, the water got into the van and ruined this book, which is kind of a bummer. It was in better condition, but it looks like maybe you got oil on it too. It looks kind of like oil logged. Maybe it got oil on it or whatever. 32 files right there. My gosh. 32 files. So if I transferred 32 files, that means that one of those files is the movie. So, and it's right here. So I can delete that. I'll delete that bunch. It's because I like using this is my spare iPhone. I got 3 iPhones. And one of them is the one I talk on. So if you contact me, it'll be this one. Oh, look at it, it's flashing. Oh, it's trying to read into the future. Does it know? Does it know? Oh, it stopped. So I use my iPhones to create movies and stuff. And right now I'm just dragging and dropping some files while I'm doing my blogging tonight, or whatever it's called. So let me see, 16 files, 16. So again, this is what we're going to be looking at today. And it's so engine. So I have a 6-cylinder. It's a 3.3. Yeah, it's a 3.3, which is really interesting because it goes 3.3 and 3.8. I don't know. Let me see, 5.5 more of an engine. I don't know if that would give me a good enough power or whatever. But if I was able to upgrade the 3.3 to 3.8, I think that's possible. But I don't know if that would mess up the smog, because anything over 1974 needs to be smogged by the big machine over at the smog shop. So I don't know if I got to see if this is. I think they run the VIN number and they'll find out the VIN number is for a 3.3 engine. So if I threw a 3.8 engine in the Dodge when I do the engine work, I'm very curious to find out if that would mess up the data with the California and make it. Yeah. Anyways, maybe that's something I could figure out meanwhile, because that Dodge van, I'm gonna do some better video of it hopefully soon. But I haven't been able to really been out there. I've been working 6 days a week, which hopefully that money I earned during that time I could save up and then use that money to put into the Dodge van. Because I mean, the Dodge van, I promise, has all the everything that you would really want in a work beast. Because I was thinking, after I get this sucker running on the road, I could use it for delivering. I could do it for I could use it for all kind of business purposes. Like one of my dream things was to actually put an ad and then just say, hey, I'll pick up pretty good size items for a fee, because there's people that find stuff on the internet all the time. I'm sure they have no way to pick it up or any way to ship it. Because as a matter of fact, what the heck? Oh, as a matter of fact, I did use that for shipping some items for a friend. Actually, I picked up a couch for him. He had no way to pick it up, but he found a really nice couch that he wanted, so I helped to go pick it up for him in this van. And that was maybe 2017 or 2018 when that happened. But the van has a lot of has lots of room, man. I mean, as a matter of fact, I drove it up to Washington, probably, gosh, over 10 years ago. It was a great ride up to Washington. I had plenty of room in the back. Like during maybe about 12 hours of driving, I would get in the back of it, take a nap. The thing is about metal. You got to remember, metal will remove the heat from you. So you need to be able to have good like insulation. And that van does have insulation. I put like a whole wood. I don't know if I did it or if my dad did it, but there was a wood kind of shoot, I don't even know the proper, like a bed liner, sort of. I guess that might be the terminology to use, but my iPhone is communicating really good with my computer today, which is rare because usually the sucker will crash, and I have a lot of extra pictures there, and that's pretty wild. Not sure how that happened. I think they call it photo burst. The picture was the same picture 100 different ways. Crazy stuff. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and move this over for a minute so I could see if I could. Okay, excuse me for a minute while I do some personal computer stuff. Another 44 files. So yeah, my theme for my other channel is Timo, and I'm basically just trying to spoof the movie Gumo. And yeah, some people probably think that's crazy because Gumo was very dark, but it's very interesting too because it all comes down to, again, the way you think about your life is the way you live, you know? Like this, you know, I have self-respect and dignity to a certain level of it. But I have like a little bit of shoot. I just can't drive, you know. I guess if that makes any sense, it probably doesn't. But I can't just drive a vehicle. I have to have a vehicle with some character, and maybe that's a little bit arrogant, a little bit of pride. Probably is a lot of it, but I mean, I can't go and drop $20,000 for a good like cargo van. I mean, maybe I could, but then again, I mean, it's like I ask myself, what do I want to be in debt over? What is the debt that is important to acquire? What are those things that are important for what I want to do as my next steps? I had I had originally thought, and I still kind of lean that way too, is that this year, 2024, you don't want to make any major decisions. Like working 2 jobs was probably a major decision that I didn't really need to make, but because of the circumstances in my life, I felt like, man, maybe I do need to work 2 jobs or actually transition from one job to another job, because things are very, things are kind of rough for me at the workplace. A lot of it's myself doing, but then I run into people that don't even know me and they're like, what are you doing here? You're so out of place. And I mean, honestly, that's the story of my life. I've been out of place for a long time, and it's not some. That's kind of like the Timo story I'm trying to tell. It's like I grew up in East Los Angeles. That's why old cars and stuff like that is attractive to me because that's how a lot of the community in East LA, also known as Norwalk, a lot of the community they just took old cars and made the best out of them. They made them to be running good and getting their friends and family around or whatever. And that's all I want to do is like be able to get around. And if I could like have a little side hustle on the way, that's kind of the East LA way is to have a side hustle, to be able to have a little bit of extra comfort, a little bit of extra way to make ends meet. That's why, this van, even though I'm perfectly aware that probably this video, people watch this video and they're like, oh, I know this guy, I know where he lives. I mean, stupid me, I use my real name because at the time in 2019, when I started to do the consistent content, I tried to use a fake name and it wouldn't let me until probably 5 years later. Then they let you use fake names on your internet. So, I mean, there's other people that have security that use their real names and they don't have any consequences really, because I think it was 4 years ago, I featured my bicycle on this channel. And I guess it was a coincidence that it ended up missing. My bicycle ended up missing shortly after posting the video about my bicycle. And it wasn't even my bicycle. As a matter of fact, it was my niece's bicycle. And to this day, she is not too happy with me about that, using my real name. Yeah, not good. But anyways, so what I want to look at, let's see if we could maybe bring the camera here. Oh, my brush. Oh, all my personal effects is right here. Let's fix that. Hold on. That's not good. That looks ugly. Whatever. Oh, that looks less ugly. So I'm going to try my best to give you a lecture about removing and replacing an engine on any car. First of all, if you have no idea about how tools work, you got to learn the basics first. I was very fortunate. My dad, he taught me the basics. And I've probably mentioned it before if you watch any of my videos, that my dad was able to look at a bolt or a nut or whatever and just tell me exactly the size it is. Just from just looking at it. He was like doing mechanical stuff so long, he just knew. Like, and it was all Imperial system too, because we were working on older cars, which would be cool if we had some of them now. He had a 1960 Ford truck. I have a lot of memories in that truck. Being kind of nice to have it. But I was kind of thinking like it would be cool to have a 1951 Ford truck. As a matter of fact, we could look that up right now, but I digress from my original content. But I was just saying that my love for vehicles, my love for cars is something that's been building up for all my life. My dad didn't buy a new car until I think 1982 or 83. He bought a Ford Fairmont station wagon, and that was one of the first vehicles I drove. I thought that was going to be my vehicle, but anyways, yeah, it was a V8. It was a pretty nice wheels, man, and they featured that in featured that car in some hot rod magazines in the past, which kind of interesting to see that. It was the Ford Fairmont, not station wagon, just the Fairmont, and then they would beef it up because it already had a V8 engine in there, and they would make it more powerful with adding the different accessories to make the car more fast or whatever. But anyways, so I'm trying my best to get into this, but a lot of thoughts come to my mind about vehicles as I'm digging through this. But the first thing that I saw when I opened up the book is the engine. The engine has a block number on it, so I guess that's pretty important when you're matching up. If you're trying to do a restoration, I'm not trying to restore a 1990 Dodge Caravan. I'm trying to make it run good. And part of the process of getting psyched up is being able to go through all this and to kind of condition yourself to be ready to dig into a big job like this. I'm thinking I could go out there one morning before work and just remove a couple bolts. Because one point of advice too that should encourage you is that when you do any project, is like that one saying about how to eat an elephant. Elephant's so huge, but if you eat it one bite at a time, the elephant will eventually disappear. But it's like when you work on a vehicle, you got to do it one bolt at a time. Like if you don't really have all the time in the world to do certain projects, you go out there and you do what you can in that amount of time. Because anything that's really important to you and to your life or to whatever you want to pursue, you got to allocate the proper amount of time. Just like in a relationship, that's probably the most extreme scenario, but in a relationship, it's going to take an allocation of time to it. To cultivate a relationship and to maintain a relationship, you're going to have to take the time to do it. Like, I mean, the dream thing would be to have a female friend that really likes cars. And while you're working on the vehicle, you're also cultivating and working on the relationship too. There are women out there that like to get their hands dirty, but I mean, maybe not so much because now there's like latex gloves and everything that you can put on your hands to keep them from getting too messed up. It's not going to keep your hands from getting bruised or cut, because if you do things certain ways, you're going to hurt yourself. And you got old bolts that are stuck. It's going to take a minute for them to get unstuck, and you might hurt yourself getting them unstuck. You got to spray them and all that stuff, but that is one of those things that you got to understand. So here's the booster jump, how to jump the. I mean, there's some things in this book that will help you to maintain your vehicle and to also how to jump start and whatever. But for the most part, or no, not at all. We're going to look at removing the engine. And here's this is an engine fuel filter. Engine fuel filter. I'm not sure what engine this is, but you got to replace your fuel filters on your car. Supposedly you don't need to change your fuel filters so much anymore because all the gas tanks are all upgraded and there's not that much debris that's in your gasoline anymore. But in 1990, I think they're still using leaded gas. You know what? Let's look that up. When in doubt, look it up again. I'm going to shoot a text real quick. Sorry. All right. Anyways, I'm going to look up. When was leaded gas stopped?
According to our World in Data, the world started adding lead to gasoline in the 1920s.
Okay. In the United States, leaded gasoline for use in on-road vehicles was completely phased out as of January 1st, 1996. Whoa. Because leaded gasoline damages catalytic converters, leaded gas was banned for vehicles beginning with model year 1975. Whoa. Those are some fun facts, and I hope that will help your life. Whoa, that's pretty crazy. So we don't have that issue anymore. Not sure why they added lead to the gas. If you know, let me know in the comments below or in the live chat, because this is live, but people are coming in and out of consciousness, but that's just the way it is. So this is something I looked at a lot before because I thought the squeaky sound of the engine was from the belt, but it wasn't from the belt. I really think the squeaky sound. And another stupid thing that I did too, I replaced the power steering pump because I thought that's what was making the squeaky sound. And I went through a lot of trouble to replace it, and yeah, it wasn't that. Okay, anyways. So I'm cruising through all these channels, pages, and seeing if I could find how to remove and replace the engine. I mean, it would say it says right here in the table of contents which chapter is what chapter is for what and whatever. So it says to general engine overhaul procedure. There we go. 2E. Let's go to 2E. Okay, well, that'd be fun. Overhaul an engine, but that's kind of out of my skill set. I just want to see if this has a timing chain. Because if this doesn't have a timing chain, I should have probably figured that out a long time ago. Oh my gosh. Assembly tensioner to the chain directly behind the well. Does that mean there's a timing chain? That is what I want to find out. Because I want to use that timing chain for I swear, I think that timing chain busted. But then again, I'm going to pull that timing chain out and find out it's not very attractive looking anyways. But that's part of the whole psychedelic thing. I say psychedelic, probably the wrong terminology, but just being psyched up for doing this job. It's going to be a job. I have all the equipment. Oh, here we go. Lift the engine off the mount and guide it carefully around. See, that's the part I'm trying to get to. See, and hopefully I'll be able to feature that in a video. I removed the engine of the Jetta, one of the Jettas. I had two Jettas at one point. Label each wire before unplugging the connector. Well, that would be a good idea, and I didn't do that, so that's going to be a little bit of a bummer. Would have taken me 2-3 minutes to do that, probably less. General information. Where's my glasses? Use my glasses. Included in the portion of Chapter 2 are the general overhaul procedures for the cylinder heads and internal engine components. The information ranges from advice concerning preparation for an overhaul and the purchase of replacement parts to the detailed step-by-step procedures covering removal and installation of installed engine components and the inspection of parts. The following section has been written based on the assumption the engine has been removed from the vehicle. Information concerning in-vehicle engine repair, as well as removal and installation of the external components necessary for the overall. C, Part A for 2.2, Part B for 2.6, Part C for 3.0, and or D for 3.3 and 3.8 liter engines. Whoa, very cool. So I got to go to D now. Whoa, that's wild. See, this is some important details that you're going to need to know is all the torque specifics. Because you need to specify the amount of torque you put on your bolts and your nuts so that there won't be any damage to it. Remove the front valve cover mount. Did I do that already? I think I did do that. Air intake plenum has been removed to expose the rear valve cover. Whoa. General, so here we go, some more general information. This part of Chapter 2 is devoted to in-vehicle repair procedures for 3.3L and 3.8L V6 engines. The engine utilizes a cast iron block with 6 cylinders arranged in a V shape at a 60-degree angle between the two banks. The overhead valve aluminum cylinder heads are equipped with replacement valve guides and seats. Hydraulic roller lifters actuate the valves through tumbler push rods. Whoa, that's a lot of information. All information concerning Information concerning engine removal and installation and engine block and cylinder head overall can be found in Part E of this chapter. The following repair procedures are based on the assumption the engine is installed in the vehicle. The engine has been removed from the vehicle and mounted on a stand. Many of the steps outlined in part of Chapter 2 will not apply. This specifications include the part of Chapter 2 applying only to the procedures contained in this part. Part E, or Chapter 2, contains the specifications necessary for cylinder head and engine block rebuilding. Okay, so that's the general information that you're going to need to know when you're going to remove the engine. And removing the engine is something that, again, if you have no skill or if you've never seen this before, you probably should have some help. I probably won't have help when I do it unless there's someone else out there in the internet world be all like, hey, let me come over and help you. That would be fun. And I'll say, oh, no, just kidding. I'll say, come over, you know. So if you're in the LA city area, hit me up and then we could do this project together. And if you want to be able to create content, by all means, come over and use my stuff to make some content. So anyways, let's have a music break for a minute. Right there.
Feels like a dream, feels like magic. Now I believe I can have it. Ooh, ooh, Tamu, ooh, ooh, Tamu. All of my wishes came true. Shop like a billionaire. Shop like a billionaire. Ooh, ooh, Tamu, ooh, ooh, Tamu. Download the Tamu app and shop like a billionaire.
That was a bit of a bummer. I never intended that to happen. But anyways, it's the nature of that beast. Yeah, just took a quick break to reset my mind, to get it together. Damn. That pootered off really damn quick. Probably got flagged. You copied my style, so you can't do that no more. But anyways, so what I'm doing today is just trying to get myself psyched up for this project. I was encouraged to see that there is a timing chain, which is weird because like my Jetta and European cars, they have timing belts, which I don't know who invented that timing belt thing. That sucker snaps your engine. These older cars, or these V6 American cars, they have timing chains. Still, if the timing chain breaks, it will probably take out the engine. But the timing chains last longer. I'm thinking that something broke, because the last time I drove it, something broke. Which is interesting because I still managed to pull it up in the driveway. After going all the way up to Granada Hills and back, I came back and I still had enough power to get the vehicle up the driveway, which was pretty nice. And you know, another fun fact, I wonder if I should not do that actually, because I'm too eager to give away my location. But if you want to email me, go ahead, and then we could work out the details if you want to come and help me with the Dodge, or if the price is right, I guess we'll sell it. But I really want to get it running because I really think it's going to be a good vehicle, but it's going to take money and time. I don't have time, I don't have money, so you got to have a wing and a prayer. Maybe more prayer than wings. That makes sense. So removing the engine, doesn't really tell you how to remove the engine. Let me see if I can find out if it says remove engine removal. Engine removal, because I want to remove the engine. Engine through engine overhaul, removal and installation, 2E9. Oh, 2E9. Okay, 2E9. Let's see what it says about removing the engine. Oh, here's some fun facts. So those are the different blinking. So if you want to troubleshoot your Dodge Caravan, there's a code that you get on the blinking, and each code will blink. Like when you turn the key, I think you turn the key towards you or away or something. I think you hit the key in the on switch 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then leave it. And then the engine, check engine light will flash. And it will flash a number of times to tell you what code it is. Back in the day, I had a code 12, 26, 38, and 55. You could go on the internet and you could find out what those codes mean. But I think this might have the codes in the back, because if I can remember. I don't know what that is. Someone's physics work. Anyway, the codes. I think the codes are in here. Let's see if it shows engine codes. Code. COD. Condenser. Because when the Caravan wasn't running good, yeah, it did not run good at all. Look at it, has one carburetor, one barrel carburetor in there. So sticky notes, fuel injection. There is a video, if you look it up, I did a video of me pulling out dropping the gas tank, which you could drop a gas tank as long as you drain the gas out of it. There's probably old gas in that one. Both of those vehicles out there have gas in it. Sucky deal, man. Too much gas. Wasted. 5 years old, probably be good enough to run a lawnmower for sure. But not to run your life. George. Gene. West LA facility volunteer. Anyways, you can prank call these people if you want to, because I'm sure these people were kind of shady. But anyways, I don't even know what that's about. So, probably not supposed to do that, but whatever. Whatever. 562 numbers too. Wait a minute here. I'm confused because I live in the 818. Looks like those numbers were 562. No, 818, 562. Huh. Anyway. Yeah, that was a gag, and if that didn't go well, then I guess it didn't go well. It won't be the first time I screwed up my YouTube stuff, the YouTube machine. The YouTube machine. Oh. Heart of courage. Spider-Man. How do you get so? Whatever. Anyways, it got distracted. So the internet could only get you so far, because some of these people they create some good content, but they just they rush through the procedure so fast. That's why when you watch those videos, it's only going to give you it should give you the confidence to proceed with the job or whatever you're doing. You know, just like when you study up on whatever vehicle you're working on, you got to study up, you got to look into it, and to get familiar with it, to get familiar with the tools. As a matter of fact, I don't think these ever tell you the tools that you need. That would probably be a lot of really meticulous kind of information. But mostly metric, probably you need a good set of metric tools to work on this. There's some things there's just some things that you could go to the junkyard if you have any doubts about what you're looking at. Try to find a vehicle in the junkyard and have at it. And for added bonus, take videos and pictures of what you're doing. I mean, since everyone has a mobile device, it's easier now just to take pictures and to document whatever you're looking at. You know, so this shows all the components on this page. Shows all the like what the engine compartment looks like, and the undercarriage and all that business. And it's not really gonna. It will help probably when I'm putting the engine back together. But it's not going to help any other way. So, this shows tips on how to find flat tires, checking air pressure on your tires, which is all pretty good stuff to know. Belt deflection. Something broke that day. That's all I know. It sounded like something broke. We should have immediately sent it to the shop because my mom just paid for the registration for that vehicle. I should have just taken it to the shop and say, hey, you know, let this stop running. But, you know, there's not that many shops that want to work on cars older than 1996. So anything that has OBD1, you really should be familiar with the vehicle yourself to do the work. Because most mechanics want to work on a car that's OBD2 because it's just easy to troubleshoot and fix. Because most of the readers will tell you what's wrong with the vehicle and then you just do what it says to do. But then when you got OBD1, like anything over 1996, so yeah, that's a little bit of a bummer. Right. 2019 was it 7/21/19. One of the last journeys in the vehicle, which is kind of a bummer now. But I'm hoping to get back on the road. And like any project, you have to mentally prepare yourself before you dig into it. Because you need to be committed and be prepared. Go out there with your tools and take that issue apart. Anti-lock braking system components 1994 and later. Ooh, that's a 1990, so that doesn't have anti-lock braking system. Oops. Which is cool. Anti-locking braking system is like when you just hit the pedal really hard, the computer is going to send a signal to pulsate the brake, so it won't just lock up. It'll just like it will let go, grab, let go, grab, let go, whatever, until you come to the stop. But the brakes, as far as I know, there's a lot of messed up things with that car. There is the driver's side door. It's pretty messed up. It's hard to get into it. You know. heard something. I heard it again. I heard it. So be encouraged. If you're going to start a project, it's like building a tower, you know. It's like making a build. You got to have everything set up. First, you got to start with your mind. Then you got to start with the material resources you need and the tools you need to go forth with the project that you're going to be working on. Because I know that I've started many projects and not finished them. And it could be a lot of different reasons why that happens. Just like with you. But just go back and do it again. Just get back on it again. Shoot. I mean, don't be too bummed out about it. Just go and do it again. Keep on doing it until you get accomplished. See, there's a timing chain. Oh, that's the 2.6. 2.6. 3.0. There's no way that this book would be very detailed, you know, because I mean they have big thick books. Like my Volkswagen has 2 big giant like encyclopedia sized books to work on that vehicle. And it's assuming the whole time that you're a trained factory technician. So when you're out there working on the vehicle, you're like, ooh, this says this. It has different symbols and like tools, very specialized tools. For this vehicle, I hope there's no specialized tool. Because if there is, that's going to be a big bummer. And Jetta has a lot of specialized tools. So, I mean, the pulley puller, 2 jaw puller. I think I have one of those somewhere around the property. But you're going to need that to pull the pulleys. Because remember, when you take your engine to the engine rebuilder, they're going to want it bare. They want it to be almost bare. Like no pulleys, no valve covers, no covers of any sort, no extra components. They just want the engine. So when they take the engine, they'll give you the engine. Maybe they'll have one on hand or whatever. You know, that might be a quick fix too. But I really want to find out if the engine, what the heck happened to it. Oh, here we go. See, that's what the V6, it says. This is 3.3 and 3.8. Either right here. Timing chain. Timing chain, see? So it should be long enough to make 2 bracelets out of, which is just part of the tokens. It's like the relics. There's a story about the monks from a long time ago. They would carry a lot of relics of different things that they've experienced in their life. They would have some of the relics that they had on them were probably not good, because they might have been associated with some paganism stuff. But then again, you think about our lives these days, our lives, man, a lot of what we do is associated with paganism, which is something that's very something to ponder for a minute. Because how much of your life is, what do you model your life after? Kind of one of those questions. You know, right now I'm not really modeling my life out of anything, except just trying to get to the timing chain. To take off the timing cover. See, remove the timing chain cover bolts. See, timing chain cover bolts. So, but I haven't even got to the part of getting the engine out. But I'm gonna a big feature in one of my videos because, yeah, there's a lot of components that need to come. Pulling the pulley off, pulling the bolts off. Remove the mounting bolts from the heat shield attached. I think I did that already. So this does break down to, first you want to remove the valve covers. Well, you got to remove the intake, top dead center, TDC for number 1 piston. Well, that's not even going to even matter because I think it's just dead. There's no center. There's just top dead for that engine. Valve cover removal, rear fire side cover, rocker arms and push rods. I'm not going to do that. I think that needs to be included when you take the engine, because I know last time I talked about getting the engine rebuilt, it was yeah, what the people said was that they just want a bare engine. They take it, rebuild it, bring it back. You could probably have the engine board out a couple sizes bigger. I don't know if that would give it 8, make it an 8. But I was happy with the engine power that it had. Like 3.3, 3.8 just being greedy. But then again, if there's a way, there's a way. You know what? Just for craps and giggles, I'm going to see if there's any Dodge Caravans on the Who's this person? I've never seen him before. Okay, anyways, got distracted by emails, which I was just interested to see if OfferUp has any Caravans, which kind of defeats the purpose of trying to dig deep. But just to see how much Dodge Caravan is right now. Okay, they're going to be all new ones. Like 2019, 2011. Here's a 2017 Grand for $10,000. $2015. Let me see. Let's be specific. Nothing. There's no 1990 Dodge Caravans on the internet. It doesn't exist. Let's just see. 1994. Just for fun. Oh, there's a 1994. Let's see. Who is nearby? You know what? When you list a car on the internet, you need to take pictures of the engine. You got to have a picture of the engine. So here's a tip for when you list a car. Front, sides, 3/4 engine compartment, interior details, and probably details too. Just include some good details. So that's my tip for when you list a car, because you need to show them what the engine looks like. People want to see the engine. They want to know what size engine it is. They want to know how many miles the engine has on it. For sure, if you're going to be selling a car, you need to have all the documentation. You have to have all the information for that car. As far as receipts, you got to have your receipts, your maintenance records. That's what I'm trying to say. You got to have maintenance records on it, because as soon as this engine gets rebuilt, then I got to document everything that happens after that, which is muy importante. Remove the oil plug. Wait. Remove the oil pump cover bolts. I don't know if I need to do that. But I think you do need to remove the oil pan from the vehicle, because I think that when you take in an engine, let's see if I could let's see how that would work right now. Okay, let me I'm typing it in right now. Oh. Okay. Let me go ahead and share my window. Oh, okay. So we looked at this for about an hour. It kind of gave me a little bit of insight. So let me go ahead and launch off here. So this is let's look at these caravans here. So this is a Dodge Caravan. Looks really clean, but it's not like the one I have. It's a V6. Let's see what pictures they took. Let's click here. Okay. That's not helping at all. Okay, let's go ahead and all right, here we go. Well, none of these look like the one I have. Oh, this one comes close. Let's see what this looks like. Colorado. What the heck? Why doesn't it let me? Oh, visit the site. See what it does. We'll find out right now. Ooh. Taking too long to load, so no thank you. Bye. Boom, bitty bye. Okay. Let's go back here. Report. Okay, this looks like mine. Looks like mine. See, this is a good way to kind of see how these bolts and stuff are before. Kind of gives me a good visual. If I had my phone, if this was on my phone, I'd do a screenshot of this, so I get a better idea of what the engine compartment looks like. But this is a 3.3 V6. This is the fuel. This is where the fuel injector is hook up to. So each cylinder gets fuel injection into it. So I kind of remember the noise happening over here. That's the transmission. But we will soon find out. I detached all the fuel lines. I removed the fuel thing there. I removed the carburetor. I really want to detach it from the, I need to detach the axles. Transaxles, I think it's called. I need to remove the axles so I could get the engine out. So it doesn't have any prices here or anything, so it's kind of messed up. But that's that one. Almost exactly like mine, but it doesn't let me see the other views. But yeah, mine's like this. Not as clean, really filthy right now. But like I said, I like the dirty look of stuff. I don't know. For this, I like the dirty look. For other things in life, maybe not. I mean, up until March, I had a mustache and goatee. Will I bring it back? I don't know. I might bring it back. I just want to know how much engine it's going to cost. Oh, ooh, looks so pretty. So official eBay. This is an engine. Four-cylinder. No, I thought it was a V6. I don't know why it doesn't let me dig deep. I don't usually use Microsoft, so that's probably what the problem is. But I can't use Google and do a live stream at the same time. Car King Auto, okay. 800, what are they at? Looks like something broken here. Oh, that's a bummer. Ooh, $4,000 for this 2014 Kia engine. Okay, let's use, sure. Dodge, okay. And then, whoa, Dodge Raider. Ooh, rebuilt 90, 91 Dodge 3.0. $2,000. Dodge transmissions. 800. Rebuilt. It's 3.0, but I need a 3.3. What? Rebuilt 8990 Colt. 96 Stealth. none of this is helpful. Let's see. 1990 Dodge Caravan 3.3 engine. Okay, let's just put Los Angeles. Okay. None of that's helpful. What's this? Cargo. Oh, something doesn't look right about that. Use 1990 per. It's an ad. Can't reach this. Whatever. Sounds about right. Dang. Sucky deal. Well, that wasn't very helpful. But at least, you know, $2,000. Just the tip of the iceberg. Probably doing a good rebuild is probably going to cost $3,000 to $5,000 to do a good rebuild. That's with all the components, with all the labor, everything. Yeah, it's a chunk of change. But so much is riding on your life, so you gotta have something to ride, something to get around. Because you know there's a lot of different tasks that you need to get done these days. So I don't know how many people were originally stopping by, but the rule of thumb is you need to have over 1,000 subscribers to get like people to really watch your live stream. But some people, they just know what to put. Today I was really itching on trying to just get myself psyched up to do the Dodge. It's in the works. It really is. It's just things don't happen so easy, and that's why some people get discouraged. Just like, I put in the effort and nothing's happened. Your results don't come right away. If you're trying to have quick results, I don't know. If you want a quick result, take your money to a car dealership, get a brand new car, and leave. But if you're trying to rebuild something, and it's not going to be quick results. I mean, it's like that cartoon magazine I used to have about that guy. They were driving around in an old crappy car, and everything that day happened. Like it started out the day this old lady backed into their car, and the old lady's all like, "Oh no, let me give you some money," you know. And the guys were like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's an old crappy car." But the old lady insisted, "Oh, let me give you money for that." So they got money that way. So they were all happy because they're trying to rebuild their car. So they took the money and they bought a car part. So they went driving around some more. And I think they were, I guess, in a construction zone. I'm not sure. I don't remember the whole story, but it was funny that by the end of the story, their little crap car that they were just driving around gets completely destroyed. And then they get a payout. And so the next scene of the comic strip is them driving their Porsche, their fixed up Porsche, driving around because they just got all the money that day to repair their car, and they were driving it later on that day. I mean, it's a cartoon. Literally, the magazine was called Cartoon. I actually had a subscription for it. I don't know whatever happened to those old magazines. They might be a collector's item now. Whoa. And now that I'm older, if I look at them, I'd probably get more out of it too, because back in the day, I was mostly just looking at pictures, like I do too now. I mean, most of the stuff I look at, if there's pictures, I'll be looking at the pictures instead of reading article. Just like back when I was younger, I would just go by the pictures without reading the step-by-step instructions. But there's some valuable information in here that you need to read to get all the details out of, because if you just go by pictures, you may get somewhere, but for the most part, you're going to have to read the instructions, like with everything. Just like I've told you in the beginning of the live stream that I was talking about, like theology and about God and all that stuff. If you have questions about God, you got to go and read it. You got to get your answers, unless you don't want to know the answers. Just like if you don't want to know how to fix your car, just go buy a new car. You know, is there any sentimental value to this? I don't know. I mean, maybe in some ways, but my mama says it's always a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. Like a car parked on the driveway is better than a car that's parked, like 1,000 cars parked at the dealership. There's nothing that you could do about the cars parked at the dealership, because it's like, those aren't your cars and you're gonna have to pay for it. I mean, this technically is not my van, and as a matter of fact, I gotta look into the details about this one, because if I can't get this van in my name, and I pay thousands of dollars to get it running, and I'm able to get it into my name, well, it's a little bit of a bummer, because that van. Well, anyways, I'll won't bore you with the details, but there's some things that it has to be addressed before I move forward. You know, just like finding a new vehicle. You know, there's all kind of opportunities. There could be opportunities, some great opportunities or some crappy opportunities, but they're all opportunities that you have to just take a risk. You know, life is full of risk, and you don't really get a reward if you don't take a risk. So that's what I'm going to do here, even though right now I don't have all the time in the world to work on the van. But there's going to be a time that I'm going to be able to get the van running. You know, maybe sooner, maybe later. I don't know. There's still so many variables that I need to take seriously. You know, life ain't no joke. So try not to treat it as a joke. You know, like, you got to use your time wisely. Am I using my time wisely right now? Should I be sleeping because I'm really tired? Or should I force myself to stay up so I could be really, really tired, and so tired I won't be able to fall asleep? That's a bit of a bummer. Life is full of bummers until you like have the ultimate bummer. So yeah, no one came into the live chat, so there was no interaction that took place this time. But whatever you're doing, you know, you got to do it one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. That's it. If you want quick fixes in this life, they're probably there, but I don't know. Is that quick fix worth it? You have to ask yourself that quick, you know, that the whole thing about instant and delayed gratification is some delayed. Well, most delayed gratification is just good for your soul, because you got to build up endurance. Because if you got what you wanted right away all the time, then I don't think that it will go well really with your soul ultimately. Because the thing is that you keep what you kill, just like in the Riddick, right? Keep what you kill. But ultimately, whatever you pursue and you work hard to get, you should be able to keep it. No one should take it away from you. When it comes to life experiences or whatever it is, be smart about your pursuits and don't overwhelm yourself, because that's the other thing that will probably completely turn you off and keep you from doing what you're supposed to do, is that if you overwhelm yourself so badly that you just are useless. And you don't want to do that either. You want to be able to have a good grasp on what you're pursuing. Whatever you're pursuing, you got to have a good grasp on it. You know, like you got to know your subjects, you got to know your products, you got to know things. Because if you know what you if you have a little bit of knowledge before you go on a journey, whatever it is, like rebuilding a car, rebuilding an engine, rebuilding your life, whatever it is, if you have a little bit of information at the jump, you'll be able to pursue with confidence whatever you're going to do. Because if you like take on a task without the confidence to do it, then you're going to overwhelm yourself, and then you're going to just be completely useless. You're going to be completely just not able to accomplish anything, because you're no good to yourself or to others if you're overwhelmed. So just keep that in mind when you take on certain whatever you take on, because everyone's taking on a different task. It might not be a car, but there's a lot of things about Dodge, the Dodge Caravan, that you could apply to your life. First of all, you got to read the instructions. These aren't exhaustive by any means. Like I told you that my Volkswagen Jetta, the shop manuals are like big, thick dictionaries, almost. A lot of pictures inside, but it's a lot of different information than this. This is only going to give you the confidence or enhance the confidence if you already have it. If you don't have any confidence when you're working on a vehicle or whatever your pursuit, then maybe you got to think about a different pursuit, because this will just give you like the details about certain parts of the engine or whatever. But I think that this ultimately is assuming a lot, because this came out in this book was first printed. I think this is the first edition. Let's see. I don't know. There's no. Oh, 1992, 1993, 1994. So this book probably just was enough to help someone maybe change a spark plug, change a belt, maybe change a tire, maybe change a couple light bulbs in the interior, but no one is going to resort to this if they're going to rebuild a whole engine. It has good pictures and stuff to show you, like on the inside, on how to, identify different parts and identify certain ways to pull the engine apart. But it's going to just kind of like, it has a little bit of a chart or a grid, or shows you what, let's see, exploded view of the engine mounts, because the engine mounts need to come off. Because the way I'm going to probably do this already is continue the way that I'm already been pulling it all apart, because you want to make the engine light too, so you need to pull off a lot of components. what would be probably the ultimate thing to do is to pull the transmission off the engine. And that's probably what I'm going to do, actually, for the sake of thinking out loud. I probably need to pull the transmission off the engine to get the engine separated, because the engine and the transmission need to be separated anyways. But they might need to come out all as one component too, because when you think about the engine and the transmission, part of the engine and the transmission is connected on the inside, like this. So if I was trying to pull the engine out separately from the transmission, then I still have to mess around with trying to maneuver all that. But if I remove everything all in one piece, it might be a benefit, because the transmission and the engine, they're connected by the torque converter and the different components to make the engine have enough power to move the transmission, to make the transmission move the wheels. So I think it might be best to pull that all out as one big piece. It'll be heavier and more clumsy, and then I'll probably need more help for sure. But if I detach the axles from the transmission and everything that the engine mounts and everything, I should be able to get that out like in less than a day. So I'm just encouraging you to also plot. You got to plan it. You got to plan whatever you're pursuing. By all means, have a plan, because without a plan, you're going to lose, and it's not going to go well for you for sure. So anyways, let's end with some music like we started off. We started off with music, and let me go ahead and turn this down, because if it's playing an ad, I don't want it to play in my video, the ad, which I already messed up with one. So
We didn't just build another 3-row SUV. We carefully crafted every one of these details to move every part of you. The first ever 3-row Mazda CX-90.
They say it took 6 days to make the Earth.
Yeah, supposedly, dude. Okay. Anyways, thanks again for stopping by and watching my live stream. I hope that you guys will pursue your pursuits with confidence as long as you have the right knowledge and tools. And if you don't know how to use tools, please be sure to learn how to use the tools properly so you don't hurt yourself or hurt others or whatever. And also, please subscribe and all that business to my videos. I know that I have a lot of mixed up content, but I'm going to try to focus on doing the Dodge video for the next. Well, the registration for it is due in July, or June. I don't know. I'm down to the wire, so if I could get it done pretty quick, that's what I'll do. And yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy the content that I put out, because I know that it's hard to stay focused for me, but I think for sure I really want to do a video about revealing the timing chain to see if it broke or not. And hopefully that will be within the next month. I have other things going on, and take a look at my other channel, my Timothy Damits channel. That's more of a cinema kind of style and creative content that way. And that stuff is definitely going to stay mixed up forever, because that's just how the content is. And hopefully someone out there will enjoy watching the video when it's like a grab bag, like a mystery. You never know what you're going to see. And I try to make it pay off. If you're going to spend 10 or 15 minutes watching my videos, I hope that it pays off somehow, and then you guys will leave me comments and encourage or discourage whatever I'm doing, so I could be on the right track. Because this is just my hobby. It's just a hobby. A lot of stuff that I do is hobby. It's not necessity. Just like trying to repair that Dodge. I think it would be necessity to have some transportation, because it's important to be able to get around in LA for sure. You're going to have to drive, just like that one song says, no one walks in LA. No walking in LA. Nobody walks in LA. I think that song from the 80s. And basically, no one, well, I mean, there is a pretty good bus system and metro system that you could get around in LA for sure, just by using the metro. And actually, I've used the metro sometimes to get around because I thought that it was just a wise thing to do. Because if I'm going like 3 miles away from the house, um, metro is a good thing to use. And if it's just you, by all means, use public transportation. But if you are trying to impress somebody, or you have friends and family that you want to be with and supply some transportation, yeah, it's important for you to be able to have your own vehicle, because having your own vehicle is what's going to help you to just be more productive and more of an asset to your circle of friends or whatever. Especially as a man, men need to have, yeah, they need to provide more for whoever the circle of friends are. Females, not so much. Females, they basically, if you're in the right circle of people, females are pretty much well maintained, taken care of. So, with all that said, hope you enjoyed my live stream today. And if you want to contact me, I put my contact in the description. You could contact me that way in the description. And if you, if there's any other ways that maybe I could help you out, because I do, have a heart to help people. So, feel free to contact me with the contact information. And if you're in the LA area and you have some task or anything that you need help with, just let me know and I'll see what I could do to help you out. Because, it does help when you have people that got your back. So I'll try my best to do that if that's the kind of situation you find yourself in. And like, even if you have a project with a car or a truck, or if you even need to go to the junkyard to pick parts, feel free to contact me about that too. And if I'm available, I'll be glad to do that, just to hang out with you or to keep you company and give you some encouragement to pursue your pursuits. And I think I covered everything. And just a reminder again to go and do what you're going to do, but do it with confidence. And you got to take some effort to have that confidence to be able to pursue those pursuits. Don't be so ambitious about doing something without the little bit of knowledge you need to get by, whatever it is, because you're going to have knowledge, because they say knowledge is power, supposedly. There's some truth to that, so be sure to do that.